Fauci.
COVID's near. It's coming to town.
Fauci. Oh, there we go. We're finally live on my
Joe Biden
Facebook
does,
post.
the media embraces. Big Doc doesn't call them racist.
We the people.
Are they really
Let's
racist,
go,
though? I don't know.
Brandon. We the people.
Let's go, Brandon.
We the people.
All right, we're facing forward. Facing forward.
We the
Like, formerly, never nicotine stained hands. Paku 2?
Mainstream media.
Paku? What is it? Paku 2.
All right, then.
Yep.
Go to here. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are. We're ready to roll.
Yes.
Oh, that's good night. Wait, hey, no, that's not.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere. My brother just can't get his stuff together, but that's not abnormal. It's not
Oh, that's
normal,
why
it's
that
not
happened.
abnormal.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's do this.
Yep. So there we go. So what are we going to talk about on this Sunday evening at 4:03?
All right, we'll shut that off since I can't do
Yeah,
it. All right.
you can't figure
What are
it
we
out.
gonna? Let's see. Is there anything to talk about tonight?
They've
Let
been
me
talking about
think.
something on TV all day long.
Yeah, it's
Your
like
same
over and
story
over and over
over
again.
and
Something
over.
about something with a B in it, and I don't know.
B-2 bombers,
B-2
stealth
bomber,
bombers or something.
MOBs
dropping some
and stuff like that.
buster bombs, 14
Yeah,
bunker buster bombs
stuff
on
like
some
that.
nuclear facilities in Iran. That's what it is, Iran. Yeah, we.
There we go. Now
the
you're
President of
digging
the
where there's
United States
taters.
decided to send the U.S. Air Force B-2 bombers into Iran to bomb their nuclear facilities. And he also sent some
7
Tomahawk
of them.
missiles. 7.
7 of them.
14. I can't do 14. 14.
Yeah. 14 MOBs.
14.
Mother of all bombs.
Yep. Bunker buster bombs dropped on 2. So think about that. It was the 14 bombs were dropped on 2 nuclear facilities, and the third one, which was a nuclear storage facility, was hit with 24 Tomahawk missiles.
Yeah, they probably do a little damage too. Yeah,
they had over 124 aircraft involved in this little sortie that they did yesterday evening at 6:30 or 6:15 New York Standard Time, Eastern Standard Time, and about 2:30 a.m. or 2:15 a.m. Iraq time. So apparently we got back. So Uncle Nickerson is watching. Uncle James Nickerson.
Uncle Jimmy's on. Hello, Uncle Jimmy. How you doing?
He says payback. Triple exclamation point. So
yeah, how come it's not coming up on the screen? I wonder.
I don't know. Hey, Uncle Jimmy, stop joining my feed and join Rick's feed. I don't know why that'll go on to the thing. I don't know what that works that way, but
well, let's see what we got up here. Well, there's only your feed's on there. Your feed, my feed, and YouTube. Whatever.
Right, but
yeah, Uncle Jimmy, come on the other feed so we can hopefully get you on here. We can see you. But yeah, so anyways, yeah, I like it. I'm what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not. I don't like that it happened, but I understand why it did. I hope their intelligence is right this time, not like last time when they said Iraq had weapons of mass destruction and they were never found.
Yeah.
We don't need more war criminals in our midst like George W. Bush was, because that's what he basically was, because he went in there with no reason whatsoever, other than hey, we think they got.
Well, Dick Cheney had a military-industrial complex.
And then there's Dick Cheney right on top of that. Yep. Both of those guys.
He wanted to get us into a war with Iraq.
Got to make some money. Got to make some money. So let's get in a war. I hope it's not that way this time. I think we can all agree. There's very few people that would in our country who are American citizens who love America that would say, it would be okay if they just kept enriching their uranium. Yeah, what's wrong with that? There's very few people like that. So I hope our intelligence is correct, and they were enriching it way higher than they needed for their atomic power plants. And the only reason to enrich it way higher than you need in your atomic power plants so you can make the bomb. That there's no other reason.
Well, you know,
And if someone has one, you let me know because I can't find another reason.
they did say a couple times, just a couple times, not very many, but a few times, death to America and death to Israel, the great
Once or
Satan
twice.
and the little Satan.
Yeah,
You know,
once or twice. Yeah, they've said that.
so I mean, the reality is, if our intelligence was correct, we were days, if not weeks, if not days,
Weeks, if not
away
days.
from them having the fully enriched uranium necessary to put on a warhead to shoot and fire to America or Israel.
Yeah.
So that
And you
was
know, Israel will be the first one because it's and actually what
closer.
I read in the news today, they don't have anything that could carry it to the U.S. What they would have to do there is give it to one of their proxies, and they would basically bring it here and then explode it here. That's what they would have to do.
Well, you know,
At
so
this time, at this point in time, that's what they would have to do to get it to America. But that doesn't make it okay. Oh yeah, okay, we got an ocean between us, so let's just not think about Israel. Israel is no bigger than the state of New Jersey. I'm not sure if one nuclear weapon would be enough to wipe them off the map, or it might take two. But it wouldn't take many, that's for sure. So yeah,
I mean, well, it depends on the you know, what size the bomb was. If it's a megaton, you know, well, if it's a, yeah, I mean, it just
well,
depends.
like I don't know what they can build with what they've got. I don't know that information. I do know that their enrichment was to the I think it was up to 69% enrichment. I think is what I heard today on the news, and I think you only needed up to like 85 to
Well, they
make a
say
bomb.
that once you get over 60%, getting to 90% is a matter of
That's that I heard that too. It doesn't take long once you get it to there. Yes.
yeah.
And
Basically
so
what
hopefully
you're doing is you're spinning a centrifuge with 60% uranium in it, and
Ken Travis is watching. Hello, Ken.
hey Ken, how's it going? And the uranium that spins out of the 60% is the more pure. But then if you have another centrifugal spinner underneath that, it'll spin it out of that one too.
And
So
Ramos Lucy
really
just
quick.
gave us a thumbs up too. There
All right,
we go.
cool.
There we go.
Yeah, so nobody. Oh, there, Ken Travis finally came on. How you, fellas? Yes.
He
let's
says,
us
"Fellas, how you doing,
Yeah.
Ken?
Yep.
How you doing?"
Uncle Jimmy, I'm not sure what he's doing over there. I did text him on my feed to join Rick's feed, so
Okay.
I said join Rick's Facebook feed, please. So
Yeah.
hopefully it'll show up, and you'll get a feed, and you know maybe we could bring all four of these, both these guys on there.
Yeah. Kenny, would you like to come on and chat with us? And Uncle Jimmy, would you like to come on and chat with us? Maybe we can get all four people on. I don't know if we can or not.
I think
That'd be great.
Yes,
That'd be
we
great
can.
if we could do that.
Yes,
So let us know, and we think we have a new way to get you on. It's supposed to looks like it might be easier, but we'll have to find out.
Yeah, time
So-
will tell. We can try it with Ken and see if he wants to give it a shot.
I'm gonna send Uncle Jimmy a text too.
So
Just
Patrick Yule is watching. So hey Patrick, how's it going? Patrick is a guy that I knew from Abbott Loop Christian Center in Anchorage, Alaska. So yeah. Back in the days, ladies and gentlemen.
how come
So
I don't know. Go ahead, brother. I'm trying to figure this out.
well, we're just talking about it, and before we started the show, we're talking about you know, Iran, whether or not they're going to retaliate, you know, because they're beating their breasts now, saying they're going to retaliate, and they're gonna bomb America. So and they may be able to, I don't know. From what we heard, the intelligence community says that yeah, you can't. The intelligence community says that they don't have any intercontinental ballistic missiles yet. Said that really slow. So they can't really get it here. But I also know that I've talked to my brother. There's a girl that I watch on the Sean Ryan show, who I think she works with the CIA or something like that. And she said that they've already smuggled surface-to-air missiles into the U.S. During the Biden regime, letting illegals come across the southern border.
I'm hoping that's not true. I wouldn't.
Me too. So
I wouldn't say it can't be done. I mean, we know how many people, 20 million people came over unchecked.
Yeah.
I mean, well, no, not all of them were unchecked. Some of them were let in, but There's
Yeah,
many.
they flew them around the country, because they wanted to.
Yeah,
get,
but there's those aren't the ones.
population
Those aren't the ones that would have brought the weapons in. They might be the ones that use them, but the ones that brought the weapons in, there's millions of people that came in unchecked that nobody looked at. They just came right through the border because that's what our last president thought was a good thing to do. And the Democrats, I got to throw Democrats in there because almost all of them are behind it. There's a few that aren't, like Fetterman's not.
Yeah.
The one guy who tried to run up against Biden late in the campaign, he's not for open borders. Those are the two that I can think of. Ken said Iran said that they have a sleeper cell in every state. Well, I'm loading my guns then, and just waiting to be told to go. I don't know if that's true, but a lot of people came over the border. Yes, Ken, and I think we should all be prepared. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. Like I said, I'm gonna start loading up my guns. I have them in my house.
You're not the only one doing that, so that's.
And I don't think I would be a target. I live so far out in the boonies that I don't think they'd ever get up in this area. But if they did, I'm not going to sit here and wait.
Well, here's what I think is a reality, right? And there's
Beth May is watching. Hello, Beth.
Hey, Beth, how's it going? There's a meme that was going around for a while that said somebody attacked the U.S. from from Mexico. And by the time the military got there, the Texans were drinking beer and having a
party. They're over there.
So,
yeah,
we got them. Yep, they're all over there. They're all laying on the ground.
Well, then the Biden administration would try to bring those people up on charges, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Where this administration, they're pretty safe. Yes.
Yeah.
Because we know that there are 2 Texas ranchers who got brought up on charges.
Yes.
And one guy. The one guy I remember,
yeah,
and he didn't even shoot the guy. It was proven that he wasn't even the one that shot the guy that died.
Yeah, but it was on his property, so
it was on his property. Yeah. So, but anyways, he got off, and I'm glad, and because I don't even know what I'd do if I was a rancher down there, and these idiots were coming across like this, and our idiot government was letting them cross like that. I don't know what I'd do, but like I said, I'm prepared now. Well,
Yeah, I mean and I think that's part of the reality of one of the reasons why this may not be happening, right? Because there are a lot of citizens that have the ability to defend themselves, their homes, and their property, right? Their freedoms, their rights, and their Constitution. So
don't come to Tennessee and try it, or Texas and try it, or Florida. The people down there are armed and ready to go.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people in California that are armed and ready to go too, just so you know. So
but not like that, because California is tougher to. Oh, I'm sure there are. I'm sure there are many, but not like in the States where it's easy to get the stuff. Did you see what DeSantis said about the protesters that are getting in front of you? If they run them over.
Yeah, run them over. Yeah.
And I have since seen videos of people actually running them over.
Yeah, and you know what? If you're stupid enough to get in front of a car that's 5 times or 15 times your weight in mass, then you should be ready to have a rude awakening. So
Beth says, hello, I stand with the USA, Israel, and pray for our troops and our great president. Yes, Beth, I agree with you 100% there.
Ditto.
And I'm hoping that this doesn't turn out to be as bad as it could. I'm hoping that I don't wish that I don't want to come to a truce unless the truce is that they cannot get an atomic bomb somehow, whatever way, shape, or form. We do it, and until that happens, we need to do whatever it takes to make sure that happens.
Yeah,
it is what it is, and I don't want to see any Americans die. I'm hoping it can be done through strength of, hey, we got B2s that'll drop those MOBs on you, and whatever.
That seemed to make a big difference recently. I'm just saying, in the last day or so, that's made.
Well, they did fire. They still fired on Israel last night. We'll see what happens tonight, because everything's done under the cover of darkness over there, pretty much.
Yep.
So Israel said they're not done though. They're going to keep going after them, keep blowing up stuff and whatever. And I got to say this, Iran is saying how the unlawful, peaceful atomic plant.
Peaceful protesters.
They're the American unlawful bombing of peaceful atomic plants. Well, here's the thing, okay? Even if that were absolutely true, what about when you're just throwing missiles into the middle of cities? What about that? That's not unlawful. You just keep doing that. and you've been doing it for many, 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 many years. It just didn't start happening this week or last week.
Yeah.
It's been going on for a long time. So shut the F up.
Yep.
Get the F out of our way,
Yeah.
or feel the wrath.
And then you also have October 7th, 2 years ago. So you know, it's like
we have that, and that was sponsored by Iran. Thank you very little.
Yeah.
And Beth says that's right. I learned before I was
5 years old.
5 years old.
was
Not
an
to stand in
STF
front of any vehicle. Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh, that reminds me of a story. I'm going to pick up my daughter, and she's in her teens, early teens, and she's on the other side of the road, and she starts strolling across the road, and cars have to slow down for her. I get out of my car and I start ripping her a new asshole right there in front of everybody. Get them out of the road. This is bullshit. You don't do that. You get out of the road. If cars are coming, you wait. Oh man, she was a little embarrassed at the time. Tim Smith is on. Hello, Tim.
Yeah.
If we're gonna do it, let's make sure it's finish the job. Period. Yes, that's right, Tim. And that's the other thing is once you start it, and I always say this. I've said this when I worked at the post office. I said I don't like to play the games, but if you draw me into the game, I'm gonna play it to win, and that's what we need to do. We've been drawn in.
Yeah.
They gave them 60 days to make a deal, and they didn't make a deal. Now you drew us in. Okay, let's finish it now. There are no turnbacks until the job is done. That's the way I look at it too.
Full unconditional surrender and no nuclear weapons.
Right. Well, that's part of the unconditional surrender is no
yeah.
nukes.
The amazing thing is you can still have nuclear power. We don't care if you have nuclear power. We prefer you to have nuclear power. We don't want you to be without lights.
So, and they don't even need nuclear power though. They don't even need nuclear power. There's more oil in that country than anywhere in the world.
Yeah, but the environmentalists will get away with saying that oil's bad.
You can say whatever you want, but
I agree.
But even then, how much do you have to enrich uranium to make nuclear power? Is it 25%?
That's a good question.
Let me look that up. Let me see if I can figure that out.
All right. Well,
you
say
say
something.
something,
I'll
Jeff.
keep talking. So, because it was going to be for a moment there, that both of us are going to be looking at our screens, looking up how much uranium enrichment do you need to have a nuclear power plant. So, in the great state of California, it doesn't matter because they just shut them down. Hey, we we haven't done anything to repair or upgrade it, so we've had some shutdown necessities. So we're just going to shut it down permanently. And by the way, we're going to kick the oil refining companies out of the state of California so we can buy crude oil that is still going to be necessary in the state from foreign nations that have dirtier crude oil than we do in the United States, and dirtier crude oil than what we're actually producing in the refineries here in the great state of California.
Right.
But when you're a Democrat, you can't really think logically about stuff like that. You just have to do something stupid like, I want to get rid of oil and then have all electric cars by 2035. And what'd you find out?
This surprised the crap out of me. Okay.
Yeah.
So nuclear power plants typically use uranium enriched to 3 to 5%.
There you go. So you don't even need to get to 60%.
Yeah, nuclear weapons need 90%, it says.
Yeah.
So they're way above what you need. So the only reason to enrich it higher is because you want it for another purpose other than nuclear power.
Well, they have really clean, efficient nuclear power plants. So they want to make sure that they're running at their optimum temperature and speed. So they want that 60% versus the 3 to 5.
That's not true. Just saying. That's a falsehood. Jeff, you're a liar.
I'm a liar. Hey, did you watch that video I sent you that said, towards the end you're going to see something?
I did. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Did you hear it?
Okay. Yeah, I did. Okay. I just haven't eaten yet, so I got to.
Yeah. I could have swore he gave the Bennett tradition at the beginning of the liar thing. I was like, wait.
What was the Bennett tradition?
The effing liar.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'll have to recheck it out. Uncle Jimmy didn't answer me, so I guess he doesn't want to get on.
Yeah, we said join Rick's feed. And he gave question mark. He said StreamYard. I said join Rick's Facebook feed, please. And then I haven't heard back from him. So
I sent him a text directly. So whatever.
Wow, there you go. We tried, but
we
couldn't do it. We tried, but he could do it.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
So, is there anything else to talk about? Or can we just keep rehashing the nuclear weapons that were destroyed in the B-2 bomber bunker buster bombing on 7 B-2s and 14 bunker buster bombs dropped on two different
I don't
nuclear
know, but
power
I thought about this
plants?
when I was talking about how much you got to enrich uranium to get a nuclear power plant. Tennessee has a place here near the college down here where they're making this new nuclear nuclear fusion thing, whatever. You don't have to have the big plant it doesn't give as much energy, but it's a lot smaller and it's a lot easier to get rid of at the end of its stuff. And I wish I knew more about it to say. I just remember reading about it a little while ago, about a year ago actually, and it's here in Tennessee, and it's going to make it easier for like municipalities to, if they want to do a little nuclear thing, their power plant, they're going to be able to do it because you don't need the great big power plants like the ones we know with the great big stacks and stuff like that. I don't know how big it's going to be, but that was about a year ago. It should be. I would think they got to be putting that out by now. I would think. I don't know, but But anyways, yeah. And, we can go back to we can also talk about Bernie Sanders is back on the road with his against oligarchy trips where he's flying around private jets. Well, I have to fly around private jets. You're not going to see me on a public jet to get to where I got to go.
I don't want to sit next to the low lives of America.
You can't make this shit up. You really can't. Bernie Sanders, who owns 2 or 3 homes, I don't know, and he's against oligarchy. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? And now he's got some new guy, some Congress or Texas politician. I don't know what.
I think it's something I've been meaning to do. I don't know if we can do this or not. Let's see. I wanted to have a picture on the wall of congressional candidates.
Yeah.
See, I'm gonna see if there's a U.S.
Oh, let's see. Here it is. AOC kicked the curb. Democrat Texas is all it says. He's with Greg Cesar. Democrat Texas is touring alongside Sanders. So there we go. So we got that.
So, we got members by state. How about we do this? U.S. Senators. U.S. Senate senators. So they have them listed by state. So let's see what they got for Texas. 10 rows. That's useless as tits on a board. Excuse me. I didn't say that out loud, did I?
I think Texas, both their senators are Republican. I'm not sure.
Well, let's see. So you have John Cornyn and Ted Cruz. Those are the senator names. What about the House? So that's just for the Senate.gov. I don't need to get something on the Senate.
And I might say, while Jeff's looking that up, there was another article in here in the New York Post today about Nancy Pelosi and her. Let me see if I can find it here. Oh, there it is. And her stock trade. So a couple of winners. Here's Nancy Pelosi stock estimated 2024 net worth is $257 million. Range of added wealth in 2024, 7.8 million to 42.5 million. I don't know how they don't have that narrowed down to more than that.
Right.
Let's see. Worth of Microsoft stock dumped before they probe Microsoft, 2.2 million. So they're going to probe Microsoft about what's that word they use when they're controlling all the business? What do they monopoly. They're gonna probe them on a monopoly on something they're doing. And right before they probe them, Pelosi dumps $2.2 million in their stock because she knows it's going to drop as soon as they start probing it. Okay, worth of Visa stock dumped before they started to probe Visa. 525K. Estimated profits on NVIDIA since December, 4.8 million.
Right.
Return on investments in 2024, 54%. That is not too shabby.
Yeah, it beats the stock market. I mean,
by
stock market
by about 40%, I would imagine.
So is it just to stop you for a second? Was that representative from Texas? Was it Greg Gazar?
Yes, that's him.
Casar? Yeah. So
Yeah.
he's the new Bernie Sanders bro pal, whatever you
Yeah.
call it.
Socialist.
So,
Yeah, whatever.
yeah, socialist.
The worth of Apple stock owned 25 million to 50 million. They don't know. It's in there somewhere. Owned each in Google, Amazon, Microsoft, Nvidia. Is that, I don't know what how you say it.
That's
Nvidia.
It's Nvidia.
Nvidia.
They're
And
the ones that have the supercomputer chips that are making.
oh,
all
the ones that are going to be
AI
they're going to make them in the United States.
Yeah.
Those.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
So prior to them making a plant in the United States, their stock was like here. They're going to make a plant in the United States. Their stock goes to here, right? So if you buy
imagine
the
that.
stock before it gets told that it's going to be built here, and then you see that sudden raise, you're going to get a
$4.8 million gain since December. Yeah, that's not what do you call it?
Insider trading.
Insider trading? No, not at all.
Ask Martha Stewart how she feels about that.
Oh, I can only imagine.
It's great for these people to be doing the stuff that they're doing.
Yes, I can only imagine. Holy cow!
What you do, like 5 or 6 years for insider trading?
I don't know. Let me find that out.
Yeah. I'm just looking at senators. So we got Kazar, the new socialist running with Bernie Sanders when Bernie Sanders is going around to talk about his oligarchy trip. So apparently AOC got dumped to the curb. We're not really sure why she got dumped to the curb, but I don't know. So maybe she wasn't socialist enough for Bernie Sanders. So because they were suddenly talking about AOC running for president in 2028. Is that what it's going to be? Yeah. So
yeah, that was part of the article that said that they thought they thought, oh, she's running because she might be president's candidate. Then they dropped her and they're wondering if maybe they don't think a white woman's good enough. They want a white man or something. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Oh no, she only served 5 months in federal prison. She was convicted in conspiracy.
5 months.
Yeah, so that's not terrible. Never mind, Martha. You got no gripe. Only 5 months.
So back to the white man comment. The irony of that is, it's exactly true. It's exactly true. The Democrats had all these candidates running for the U.S. presidency in 2020, and Kamala Harris was one of the black females running. And Tulsi Gabbard shut her down the first debate that they had.
Yeah, I loved Tulsi Gabbard back then. I was like, oh my gosh, I like her a lot. And they just shut her right down.
Yeah, well, because she's military personnel, she doesn't want to go along with the flow, because the Democrats are starting suddenly being warmongers, right? Oh, we want to.
Well, it's not suddenly, but
spend more money. Well, usually it was the Republicans were the warmongers and Democrats were the anti-warmongers, But now the Democrats are warmongers and Republicans are like, why are we going to war all the time? Donald Trump.
Well, the Democrats saw a chance to make some money, got into it, Yeah.
Did Nancy Pelosi buy any industrial?
It didn't say
weapons stock or anything like that.
It didn't say.
What are the what's the big companies that do that? It's
Halliburton.
Well, Halliburton was under Dick Cheney, but
also so you know who made the mother of all bombs, don't you?
Dick Cheney?
No, it was the airline. I can't think of their name right off the top of my head.
Delta?
No.
Oh, was
the one
that
Boeing?
Boeing, yeah.
Boeing.
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised it worked then because they seem to be having problems with their planes. Of course, they only started having problems with their planes when they were doing a DEI hiring. I'm just going to say that out loud.
Well, they don't have any problems with their planes crashing, which is what the bomb does. Just planes flying.
Flying, falling apart midair, whatever,
Yeah,
but,
whatever.
Hey,
whatever.
They're really proud of their DEI hires that are working for them every day, making those planes safe to fly in midair.
Exactly. So. Yeah. And here's the thing. So I have some Democratic friends who I talk to on a regular basis, and
Democrat friends,
and I try to tell them about the DEI, and this is what's going to happen with this is what we said was going to happen, and they're like, oh, you're crazy, blah, blah. I go, no. I remember when it happened that Joe Biden put out the thing, we're going to make DEI, make it happen in the airline. And I immediately said, you know what? We're going to have planes crashing and whatever. I don't care what the person in the cockpit looks like. I just want the
Right.
best qualified
Yeah,
candidate in there.
you should have the best qualified. I don't care. But we still do that in every aspect of our lives. That's the sad part,
Right.
Like
Yeah.
medical industry is a classic one, right? I'm seeing that happen in my own life, right? My son, amazingly enough, is a genius in this field, right? He loves anatomy, he loves the body anatomy, right? And
Hmm.
apparently, before he went to his 4-year degree program, he was working for a doctor in Santa Barbara, California, and the doctor said, "Look, when you finish your 4-year degree, and before you get your master's done, and before you do your doctorate degree, and apply to become a doctor to get become a get in uh, what do they call it? Basically, just had a brain fart. When you apply to become a
Oh.
doctor, when you take the schooling to do the doctor, right?
Hmm.
Before you do that, take a gap year and go to some foreign country and do a lot of work with these low income indigenous people,
Indigenous.
and yeah, indigenous people, so that you can have better rating when you apply for your doctor, right? Because you're a white man, right? So you're less likely to get picked because you're a white man. I'm like, so it doesn't really have anything to do with grades then, or no, it doesn't really have anything to do. I mean, you have to have some good grades. Don't misunderstand me, but
You
it's
have to
like,
you have to get by. You just can't do anything. But yeah.
yeah, but it's like, okay, so
But
you're
but but in
taking
the
the
airline industry, they were actually going to change the standards so that they could get more uh what's the word
colorful
I'm looking for?
people.
More no more I can't even think of the word. I'm having this is a bad night, man. Yeah.
Wow,
Uh
we got to start taking those Joe Rogan pills, but we can't remember what they are,
yeah.
so we can't take them
I
anymore.
tried
We
them.
don't
I
know what
didn't
they
think they
are.
did anything for me. So yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, my
But
daughter made it
anyways,
home safely.
to make the hiring pool more diverse, to
I
get
really want to put that picture of my
more
daughter.
minorities. That's the word. More minorities in there. They were going to change the standard. That's bullshit. That's,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's bullshit. You have a standard. The airline industry has been safe for many many years. With just an incident here and there, you don't change that. It's working. You know, and especially you don't make it easier. You know.
Right.
And otherwise, maybe I become a pilot. And where would we be then? Of course, I'm not. I'm not a minority. So, well, I could claim I have a black wife, so I should be. I have black privilege. Maybe we'll go with that. See what happens. See how far that gets me down the road.
I think if you identify as a black female gay, you should be good, right? A lesbian black female.
Well, no. I'll be a transgender black female. That way,
Oh wow, you're
I can
really going for it
I
there.
can still like
Transgender.
women. I can still like women, but I can pretend that I'm one. And then I'd be actually gay. I'd be a gay woman. Oh, there you go. You put that right up there. Oops.
Was not planning to put that right up there, but
Oops.
sorry, Jessica, I just posted your picture, sweetie. Sorry. Yeah, that's my daughter. She went to one of those Comic-Con things in Washington with her husband to see her favorite actor, who is the main character in The Punisher. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I may
So
have to get Disney back just to watch that series. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I mean they kind of ended it, and maybe I don't want to be a spoiler alert.
They made it so they could either go either way. They could make another season, or
you could do another season. Yes.
yeah, or they could just end it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
get it. I don't know how
So-
popular it was, but if I go back and get my Disney, and
It's going to be popular.
I write them a
gonna be
note. The
popular,
only reason
yeah.
I'm getting this is because of the Punisher. I hear it's
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll get a third season.
Yeah.
I did
Oh,
hear. So I did hear Jack Reacher's starting to film a new season, and the only reason
yeah, because go ahead.
I
And
can't-
tell why. I know why you heard, but go
I
ahead. and
can't
tell.
find that, but I heard that he ran into somebody, and
No, Joe Biden, Hunter Biden
yes,
stumbled onto the stage. of
stumbled
the,
onto the
filming.
set of him making. Yeah, that's I heard that news. The Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, and hey, look, I don't like Alan Rich's politics. I don't care. I'm still going to watch it. I
Right.
like it, and that's the way our whole country should be. You shouldn't.
Yes.
You shouldn't not go to Chick-fil-A because you don't like their politics. You shouldn't not go to whatever. I'm trying to think of another one right off the top of my head. I can't think. But there are many things. Oh, let's cancel them. Let's cancel them. We don't like their politics. Who gives a crap? If they make good movies, I don't like Tom Cruise's politics either, or his whatever cult he's in. I don't like that, but I love his movies, so I'm going to watch them. That's none of my business. What he does, and he's not in there. So
Yes.
yeah. But anyways,
definitely in a cult.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're not here to talk about Tom Cruise's cult, but it is.
We're here to talk about everything.
It is. Yeah, we do talk about everything. It is one of those things where it's like, because I was having a conversation like this with one of my customers the other day, who is a very nice woman. She's very Jewish, right? And she said she took a flight up to San Francisco, and she felt like she might have gotten sick on the way back. And because I'm just this way, I had to make that quick jibe. Oh, it's too bad there's not a high-speed train going between here and there.
Yeah, there you go.
And I said, yeah, I shouldn't have said that, but I did anyway. So yeah.
Somebody in the news said that the other day. Well, not like there's a high-speed train that could get you there. And they show the beginning 600 feet of the track that they've got for $17 billion. Yeah. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I'm glad I don't live in California.
Yeah, so it looks like there's a season 3 teaser from Marvel Studios of the Punisher. So yeah, that looks like there's gonna be a season 3. Yeah,
cool.
So
I may have to get Disney back. We'll see. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because on one side it says season 3 teaser 2022, and the other side it says season 3 teaser trailer 2025.
Some of those are weird though. You get on them and they say, "Well, here's what happened in season 2, so this is what we think's going to happen in season 3."
Yeah, and the one that's 2022 is with John and Bernthal and Amber Rose, Rava, whatever. But the one that's November 27th, 2024 says Punisher season 3, says Marvel Studios. So if Marvel Studios is putting up a YouTube video of season 3 of Punisher, then I would venture to say that there's probably going to be a season 3 of Punisher. Unless they're trying to get too much DEI in there, and the guy was like, "Yeah, I'm out." Because that's the other thing that Disney tries to do, is they try to put all that DEI in there so they can promote the transsexual, gay, lesbian lifestyle upon their listeners and viewers and audience. So
Amazon Prime Video isn't slowing down when it comes to Reacher. Season 4 is officially in production, and the clues are already in the open. Literally, a script casually left on the New York City subway seat in a teaser.
Oh my god!
Strongly hints the season's literary source. Gone Tomorrow, the 13th book, Lee Child's Reacher series. Yeah, so there you go. I have to pick that book up again and read it again because I've read them all. Well, I'm actually on the 29th of the 30. And I'm about halfway through the book, and Neely's not in it yet. And I'm like, come on, man. You wrote this. I love Neely, man. I watch her compared to the Reacher.
The actress
I watch her
that is good.
When they're carrying guns. She looks more like she should carry a gun than Reacher does.
Right.
It's amazing.
Right.
And like I said, the last series, she wasn't in the book. They put her in there.
Right.
Which I'm glad they did. But yeah, I have to go back and read that number 13 book and what did I say the name of it was again?
I forgot already. I wasn't paying attention apparently.
Gone Tomorrow.
Gone Tomorrow. Brother. Gone Tomorrow. There you go.
Gone Tomorrow. Number 13. I'm gonna have to look at. I'm gonna have to start reading it again. So yeah, that's good. I'm glad because they were thinking that they're thinking about having a spinoff with Neely.
Right.
And so they were thinking that the next Reacher one might be pushed back because they don't want to bring them out at the same time. Because money. Got to get the money.
Right.
Money.
Yeah, I mean, and I get it. You want to be able to, because they spend a lot of money to produce these things, so that you want to make sure you're going to make your money back. But it's like, like when they went to the current guy that plays Jack Reacher, I forgot what his name is.
Alan Richardson,
right? I was like, he totally fits the character of the book.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Like, height, size, the way that he was acting like he
Mhm.
was very shy, which is the way that they portray him in the books, right? He's not
Yeah.
this go getter in your face. I'm gonna kick your
I
ass.
I would I wouldn't call it
So
shy. I would call it reserved.
reserved, yes,
Yeah,
reserved,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Because he's
That's a
not
better
shy,
word, yeah, yeah.
and
No,
he
yeah,
doesn't
but
take any crap from anybody, which I love.
right,
You know,
yeah. And,
that's the way. That's the way it should be on
but
this
I
earth.
think he played the part better than Tom Cruise did in that
Yes.
aspect, right? And
Yeah.
but he actually thanked Tom Cruise for letting him do the part of the series and for the job that he did to get the series recognized in the two movies that Tom Cruise came out with.
Now,
So
now
it's
Tom,
not like
Tom
he's go ahead.
Tom Cruise is a much better actor, and
Yeah,
Richardson's getting better. But he's not Tom Cruise, and um, but I like the movies. They're great movies. I watch them,
right.
and
Yeah,
I just because I've read the books, I like the series better
right.
because Richardson fits the profile. You know.
Right. But I also think that I agree with you 100%. Tom Cruise is a better actor, right? But I think that
Mm.
the way that Richardson was portraying Reacher in the first one that came out, the season one,
Yeah.
actually portrayed him more accurately to the books than what Tom
Oh,
Cruise did.
absolutely,
You know,
absolutely.
so
Which
yes,
which book was it that we listened to when we were driving down to pick up mom, and on the way home, mom got mad at us on the way home because we were
yeah,
listening to it. Was it? I think it was I think it was the second season that they had. Whatever that book
maybe,
was. We were
yeah.
listening to it in your
Well, here,
truck on the way down, on the way back. So yeah,
let me see if I can pull it up here in my because it probably was in Audible, right?
yeah. You had it in Audible. We were listening to it in your truck over your speakers, and about
Library.
halfway home, mom goes, "Do we have to listen to this the whole way home?" No, mom.
Yeah.
We can put some music on or something.
If you really want to, we can. But
Yeah. Mhm.
was it Gone Tomorrow? No, that's the one you said that you're just gonna do, right? Gone Tomorrow.
Yeah. Let me double check that. Um, yes, Gone Tomorrow is the one.
So
Um,
it would have been either I'm guessing. Well, it would have been either Never Go Back or Bad Luck and Trouble, or maybe Nothing to
Bad Luck.
Lose.
No, it wasn't Never Go Back. Never Go Back was one that Tom Cruise did, I think.
Right. Yeah.
So let me see if I can find this here. Amazon Prime. Let me see
Because
this.
those are the first three that I have in the book series, the Audible books. So
Oh, you have all three of them on Audible books?
yeah, so we I'm guessing we listened to one of those. It's gonna play something. So I'm guessing we listened to one of those. So the first one is Never Go Back. The second one we have is Bad Luck and
Let
Trouble, and the third one I have is Nothing to Lose. Both and all of them have about 30 minutes left to listen. Well, the Never Go Back
well,
has an hour, a minute left. So I think
yeah.
we may have re-listened to Never Go Back. I don't know because
Okay,
we were
so
liking
see,
them.
I'm trying to find the names. I got them up, but it doesn't tell me the name. It just says Reacher, season 1. It's
Oh,
not
those are
giving me
the.
the name.
Oh, gotcha. I see what you're saying. You're trying to figure out what the names of the books were based on, or what books they're based on.
Reacher said nothing. Wait, hang on. Yeah, I can't find the actual name of it here. But oh, let me see. Yeah, I don't know. I can't find it. But anyways, yeah. Looking forward to the new season. I love the show. Like you said, I like it. I like it better because of the that Reacher fits the character much more. And in the books, Reacher's constantly headbutting someone and throwing elbows. And Tom Cruise was more of a puncher kicker. He did some elbows. I don't remember if he did any headbutts or not. Just not as many. Not as many.
He did in one of them. I think he did in one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think in the bar when he's fighting in the first movie that came out when he's fighting goes outside to fight the five guys in the bar. I think he does a headbutt one of those. He kind of stumbles back. He's like, oh.
That's a move that I think. I don't know if you could learn how to do that right, but that's a surprise move that no one would ever think of. You get in close and just Okay, let's go, bang. You don't
Yeah.
even say let's go. You just bang, and then it's let's go. And but yeah, but anyways, Tim Smith, they should get to help rebuilding their country. Let them see what happens when you poke the sleeping bear. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, hopefully we won't have to deal with that, Tim. We got off the subject there for a while. Thanks for
Yes,
bringing
we
us
did.
back.
Got on the
Um,
we're
yeah.
back on the topic.
How long
so-
ago did he send? He said at 7:23. So he sent that 20 minutes ago.
Oh yeah, we're paying attention now, Tim. Sorry, we apologize. We were basically screwing off. So
Yeah. Yeah, we go down
sidetracked.
rabbit holes sometimes here
Yeah.
and there.
But hey, that's why your wife said that we should start a podcast because we're so funny.
Yeah,
I
funny
haven't-
us.
I haven't seen us be funny yet tonight, but sure, why not? Yeah. So, and we haven't really had a heated debate in a long time too. So we gotta stop talking before the show and then have our actual conversation, heated debate during the show. That'll make it more.
Yeah, yeah. No more talking before the show. Let's just get on the show and start yelling at each other. What could go wrong?
Exactly. Yeah, because we're so good at it. We just want everyone to hear how childish we sound when we're arguing with each other. So,
Exactly. And like I said, we used to argue a lot more than we do now. Like I said,
yeah.
and I was thinking about this the other day. I had a conversation with my son, and I was thinking, he told me how much I've changed, and I don't think I've changed a whole lot. I probably have changed some, but not a whole lot. And my feeling is this, and I got to think about it. I says, you know what? I think 4 things that the Democrats did that made me like I'm done with the Democrats.
Yeah.
They wouldn't leave our children alone with the woke bullshit. They wouldn't leave our women alone with woke bullshit.
2.
They wouldn't leave our military alone with the woke bullshit, and that's actually the one that was over the line. I had to. I'm done with you guys. What was the 4th one? I don't remember what the 4th one was, but there was 4. And the 4th one came after that, and it was still something that I was just like, you know what?
Trump
Then if I hadn't done it then, I probably what's that?
Trump derangement syndrome.
No. It had nothing to do with Trump. It was all what Democrats were doing. Might have been the border. Might have been the border.
Yeah, they're
I don't
doing
know for
something
sure.
against Trump. I think that you were like, that's it. I'm over. I'm just,
No, the one that took me out was the military. That was the one that took me out of the Democrats. They decided to put the woke bullshit in the military, and I was done.
Yeah.
No, wait, because I got out before then.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, you'll think about it eventually, maybe.
Yeah, but
Find that
whatever.
Joe Rogan pill. Start taking it again and see if it works this time.
Doesn't work, so I'm
Doesn't
not
work.
taking it.
Yeah.
I like Joe Rogan though. I listen to him quite a bit. I like him.
So when Jeff and Pam were here a week or so ago, this was last week, not this past week, the week before. I had a customer that real nice guy, nice husband wife team, and they wanted me to check out their network stuff. And he's like, "Hey, is your back hurting you?" I'm like, "Well, a little bit. Why?" He runs and goes into his storage room. He pulls out this bottle. He's ripping the plastic off the cap with his teeth, and he pulls the cap out. He goes, "Here, lift your shirt." So I lift my shirt. He sprays it. He goes, this is basically treated water. I'm like, "So you're squirting treated water on my back? That's supposed to help my back. How's your back feel now?" I'm like, "Wet." But yeah, I didn't say that, but that's what I was thinking. Yeah. So I had the bottle when Jeffrey was here, and I said, "Hey," I told the story. I said, "This is the stuff the guy gave me." He goes, "Yeah, you officially met your first quack. That's great, Dad."
Well, Mark Tanner's on. Hello, Mark. How you doing?
Hello,
Say
Mark.
something. Make yourself be heard. I'm
Mark
sure you
Tanner.
have
Why
plenty
does
to
that
say
name
about the
sound
war.
familiar? Why does that name sound familiar?
I don't know. He's a postal employee.
Oh, never
Yeah.
ever met him.
Probably not. No.
All right. Well. Oh well. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying really hard not to yawn in front of the camera, because suddenly
Yeah.
I'm getting tired. I haven't had anything to eat yet, so I gotta go. I gotta.
How much weight have you lost, Jeff? Do you know?
I don't know. I'm too crazy, too stupid to look. So too afraid
Yeah,
to
okay.
look. Whatever. So,
I'm losing weight,
No.
so that's good.
yeah. No, I was actually thinking of that podcast I sent you with I can't.
Boy, we're having brain farts all over the place tonight.
Yeah. What the hell is that guy? Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk.
Oh, Charlie
podcast
Kirk,
with Charlie
yeah.
Kirk, right? Where
Yep.
the professor was having a
Professor was
conversation with
saying,
him.
and he says, "Yeah,
He's like,
I haven't had anything to eat, so I
had
gotta
lunch,
go."
So I gotta go. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. So
yeah,
that
you just
reminds
proved me
me.
wrong, so I got to go. Basically, is
Yeah.
what he said.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
yeah, yeah.
but I mean,
Char-
the
Charlie
thing is,
Kirk's
we need to
an
be able.
interesting individual. He really is.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of his, but um, some yeah, a lot of the stuff he says makes a lot of sense. So
Yeah. And the thing is that he's not willing. He's not. He's willing to sit out there and take the hits to have the conversation, right?
right,
And
yeah,
he won't let somebody walk all over him. But he's like, whoa, wait a minute. And they're like, well, you said that you weren't going to interrupt me, or I didn't interrupt you, or whatever. He's like, yeah, but you're making a point that doesn't make a point. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to correct your
yeah,
point in mid sentence. So, but that always goes over well with people. When you interrupt them in the midpoint and say you want to
yeah.
make a statement. But so I
Hmm.
mean, I like Charlie Kirk. He is definitely a guy who has put himself out there with these college students to talk to them and talk reality with
Yeah,
them.
I mean, you got to give him
And
credit. He goes out there and he'll let anybody come up and debate him on anything, basically.
yeah, yeah,
And
ask a
yeah,
question.
and that was
He'll
one
give you
thing
an
the
answer.
teacher said. He goes, "You're going to find this amazing, but I'm glad you're here." Which
Yeah,
most when he goes to a lot of campuses, they try to make him not be able to go to the campus. That
right.
happens to him a lot.
But he
Where
has a
they try
lot
to.
of supporters. That's the thing. He has a lot of people that are supporting him and support him coming there. And then you get the
Mhm.
fringe element that's like, oh my gosh, we can't have everybody talking to us that might have logic in the sentence. It's like,
Mhm.
dude, did you not learn how to debate in school? I mean, we took debating in high school. You remember when you took a debate class in high school, Rick?
Yeah. Do
I
we?
mean,
Yeah, we took debate class in high school. Yeah, I remember that.
yeah, yeah. So it's like,
Yeah.
eh, and I was scared to death, right? Because I was the well-known fat kid of the school, right? So I was scared to death to be in the debate school. But it's like in the debate class. But it's like you took debate classes. Did you like fake it? And now that when you're in the real world, you don't know how to have a conversation with anybody?
I'm not sure they have those classes anymore. I know they don't have shop.
Well,
So
that's
maybe
true.
that's
They
one of
don't.
the things.
Yeah.
Tim says they should get no foreign aid and there should be prison time for all their officials. Yes, I don't there so I got to say this in $37 trillion in debt. There's not a lot of foreign people that should get any aid for anything
Yeah.
until we get our own country straightened out. And I'm sorry
Yeah.
that their foreign countries are going to suffer, but the alternative is someday we can't give anybody anything because we just don't have anything.
Like now, I mean, when you're $36 trillion in debt, it's not like you have any money. I'm just saying,
Well,
if I were
you
to
can
tell
keep
you
borrowing more.
today,
Evidently, that's what that new bill is trying to do.
yeah,
Raise
but
raise the deficit $5 trillion in the next 5 years or something like that. I don't remember what it was. But I'm
yeah,
like,
it's like
holy crap! Don't you people get it? But yeah. Anyways,
they they have to. I mean, I look at it this way: if I were to come out tomorrow and say, you know what, Rick, I'm $1 million in debt, but I'm going to borrow $100,000 to start a new job.
I'll loan it to you, brother.
Yeah,
I'll write you
you're
a
gonna
check.
you're gonna borrow from the government because they don't
Yeah,
give a crap.
exactly.
It's like there's no common sense at all, And then they're like, oh well, we need to spend $5.5 trillion this year. Really? So how much money are you making this year? Oh, we're making $4.5 trillion. But
No,
we've
then you only
reduced
need
the
to spend four and a
deficit.
half trillion.
But
Yeah.
but we've reduced the deficit because we were going to spend $7.5 trillion. So now we're only down to $5.5 trillion.
Look at
So
how
we've
good we
reduced the
are.
deficit by $2 trillion. Oh my gosh, we're geniuses.
You're
You know,
dipshits is what you are.
it is, and it's like, and then they expect us to give them more money. Oh yeah, let me volunteer to give more taxes to our government because they're so well and efficient at taking care of it.
So I got a question for Tim Smith. Just a question, Tim. I got a thing on here. Keep saying Tim Smith is watching. Tim Smith is watching. Tim Smith is watching. Are you getting off and getting back on? Are you getting kicked off and getting back on? What's going on there, buddy?
That didn't
Just
sound
wondering.
right. I'm just gonna say, this
Yeah.
didn't sound right at all. Are you getting off and then getting back on, getting off and get back on? Yeah.
Got to get back on the horse,
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah,
Once you
just
fall
curious.
off, yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So our government has a lot of problems and nobody seems to want to really deal with the issues, right? I mean,
Mhm.
I think by far the current administration is better than what we had in the last 4 years, right? By
Yeah.
far, we're in a lot better circumstance and situation. I think eventually once all the tariff issues get ironed out, that we will start making more money, right? There's a
Yeah.
was it Argentina and South America that had that Maley? Is that his name? He's the one that had the chainsaw, and he said, "I'm going to cut this program, cut that program, cut this program." He cut a whole bunch of programs, and for the first time in 30 years, his country is in the plus,
Oh
right?
wow.
Because he cut all these stupid bullshit programs, and we have so many of those. But like once you start going after Elon Musk doesn't have the power to delete that person's job. Elon
Right.
Musk shouldn't be looking at where we're spending our money at USAID because we're filtering our money back to ourselves. We don't want him to see that because we won't be able to get our money back.
Yeah.
It's insane. These people are just insane, and they think that
Hmm.
we're stupid enough to let them say, "Oh yeah, well they're doing a good job taking care of our money," and they're not.
Yep.
They're not.
Yeah.
I think the people that are in there now are better, right? I think they are getting rid of a lot of Barbara Streisand stuff, with the whole elimination of DEI and no DEI in the military and all this other stuff, like
Hmm.
men play on men's sports and women play on women's sports, and there's never going in between, right? So
Hmm.
I think those things are beneficial. I think the fact that that the U.S. House and Senate passed a law reversing the air quality bill requirements for California, so they could have only EV vehicles in 2035.
That was the other thing. That was number 4. They're gonna
Yeah,
make me. They're gonna make me own an electric vehicle somewhere in
yeah.
my life. That was
So
number
I
4.
I think that's great. I think it's one of the things
Yes.
that it makes this administration better than any of the past administrations, right? Because they're
Hmm.
not putting up with all this, wokeism and like, oh my gosh, global warming, global warming, global warming, right? It's like, okay, so have you seen the congressional hearings where the congressman says to the 4 people that are all supposed to know about global warming stuff? He's like, so what percentage of the atmosphere is
Carbon.
carbon?
Yeah.
Like, well, I don't know. Well, guess. What do you think it is? I'm going to say 7. I'm going to say 8. I'm going to say 9. I'm going to say 10, right? Well, it's 0.004% of our atmosphere is CO2, right?
I thought it was a
And
little higher than that,
and
but anyway, go
and
ahead.
and what is the percentage of the carbon emissions that the United States is contributing to? Oh, well, that's 0.11% or 1.4%. Okay, so what of that 0.14% is created by humans and not cars? Well, that's 0.014% or something like that, right? So the guy says, okay, so basically what you're telling me is that the citizens of the United States, the 300 million citizens of the United States, are contributing 0.00003% of CO2 to the environment. And you're saying that we got to spend trillions of dollars to save
Yeah.
the environment because they're all of this CO2 is being let into the atmosphere and
Yes, Tim.
killing and creating global warming. Streisand and Rosie, yes, yes.
Whoopi should all go live in Iran. Yes, they should. Let's see. Let's see how that works out for them. Living in Iran. Yeah, they wouldn't have a TV show. That's for sure.
I
So it
I
says
did.
here,
Go ahead.
422 parts per million. 422 per million. So Jeff, whatever you said was really close to whatever this is just saying.
0.004%.
Yeah,
0.004%.
there you go.
That's what I said.
And of that 0.004%, only 0.0 something is man-made, right?
Yeah, point 1 4 of that 0.004% is man-made, and of the man-made, it's like 0.0 something less is from
Of what?
humans. So the humans are contributing
How much are the cows?
0.0003%. They didn't talk about the cows because I mean the
How much
reality
the
is it
cows
doesn't
fart
matter.
go into
It's
there?
it's nitrogen that the cows are farting. By the way,
Yeah.
it's not CO2. It's like, okay, so are we talking
So
about
what you're
nitrogen or are we talking about
so what you're
CO2 that's
saying is
causing
there is no
global
reason
warming?
to kill off all the cows, that we should keep having our beef unless someone's buying up all the farmland, so they want you to eat vegetable beef instead of real beef. Who could that be?
Bill Gates.
There you
Did
go.
Did I say
Bingo.
that out loud?
So maybe
Yeah.
that's the reason. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the reason that we want to have fake beef. What do they call it? The dang, I right tip of my tongue. The
Yeah, well, I called it
Wonder
vegetable beef,
Burger,
but that
Wonder Burger, or
yeah,
something.
yeah,
Whataburger.
which didn't go over well,
Anyway,
by the way. Oh, it tastes
no,
just like beef. Yeah, I'm afraid it
no,
doesn't. Just saying.
no. It doesn't. And oh, by the way, this is my favorite part about the non-beef beef that they're making, right? Prior to
Mm-hmm.
the introduction of this new beef, right? The
Mm-hmm.
whole earth was saying non-GMOs. You can't have genetically modified organisms in your food. No GMOs. No, get rid of the GMOs. No GMOs. No GMOs. No GMOs. What is this vegetable beef? It's a genetically modified organism.
Yes.
So suddenly the non-GMO idea went by the wayside because they're talking about all of this uh, what's the name of that beef? What is the name of that beef? I'm bothering me. What's the name of the fake beef? All right.
You gonna look it up,
Yeah,
or you want me to look it up?
I got it. Fake beef name. Blah, blah, blah. It doesn't even tell you. Substitute. Imitation meat. Impossible Burger. The Impossible Burger. Impossible Burger.
There you go.
The
It
Impossible
is impossible.
Burger.
It's
It
not a
is
burger.
impossible because it's not a burger. There's no meat in
Yeah.
it whatsoever. It's impossible for you to actually claim that it is beef. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Yeah.
So yes.
Yeah.
So the plant-based
Uh-huh.
burger you can buy at the store. So who's producing farms that are producing the crops that are using to produce the Impossible Burger? Oh yeah,
That I guess it'd be Bill Gates, but
yeah,
I don't.
yeah. So
I know he's bought up a lot of farmland.
yeah, yeah. So
I wish he would have bought up the farmland that China bought next to our military bases. You know, hey, what could go wrong? Let's sell China 250 acres
God.
next to our military base. What could go wrong? Are our government people stupid? Oh, yes, they are. We've already decided that.
Yes, we've already
Holy
determined that the
crap.
government people are stupid. They have no common sense whatsoever. So
Zero common sense.
So what just happened in Iran before the dropping of the bunker busting bombs from the B-2s? There's something that happened. Oh, Israel made an attack on Iran. And oh, by the way, Israel had been making drones inside the country of Iran for over a year. So that prior to their aircraft flying into the Iranian airspace, they had drones that took out a majority of their anti-aircraft weaponry, right? From inside Iran, right?
Right.
So what could possibly happen with China owning land inside the U.S. right next to our military bases?
I don't know.
What could possibly happen? Because
don't know.
You can't think logically. Well, they would never do anything to harm us. Let's see.
Anywhere but China, by the way.
Yes. So, but wasn't there like 3 Chinese immigrants that got caught trying to smuggle viruses into the U.S. in the last 3 months alone? Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's what we caught. That's not what we didn't catch. That's what we caught.
Right. How many got in that we didn't catch? Yeah.
Yeah. And wasn't there a spy balloon that floated over the nuclear facilities in North Dakota?
They were just checking out their land, Jeff. They were trying to get. They wanted to see what their land was like, so they could see. Yeah,
land that they purchased next to the military silos.
Exactly. We're just checking out our land. It's not the military site.
Oh my
They
god!
pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
The irony of that is this, right? That balloon floated across the Alaskan Aleutian chain through Alaska into Canada before it ever came to Montana, right?
Right.
So, and it wasn't the only reason that we knew it was over Montana is because people started seeing it like, what the heck is that? So
in their telescopes.
Their telescopes are like, wait, that's like a balloon up there, right? And they're telling the news. There's
then
a
they said
over us.
Then they shot down the Boy Scouts balloon.
Oh yeah, that was great.
They didn't use an F-16 to do it though.
No, they used an F-22 Raptor.
So, did they really? I didn't know that.
They did. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Just out of Fairbanks. Out of Fairbanks. so the Boy Scouts in, I believe, if I remember correctly, was either Washington State, Idaho, or maybe Montana, floated a helium balloon up with a camera on it because it's legal to do that, right?
Right.
And you can float it up there and see where it goes. You take videos and pictures of the Earth and the countryside it's going over, whatever. And then when it lands, or if it orbits around the Earth one time, right?
Mhm.
Then they can recover it, right? And they can have all this great video, right?
Right.
So this has been done multiple times in the past, right? This is not the first time it's been done. It's been done multiple times. So only after the Chinese balloon is floating over Montana for several weeks and then heading towards the East Coast because they didn't want to shoot it down over Montana because there's a slight possibility in the hugely populated state of Montana that if they shot it down, it might land on somebody's house, right? So
Mm.
they waited for it to go all the way across America over South Dakota, North
Nothing
Dakota.
to see here.
Not like we have any military bases out there, in the
Well,
middle of the
did
country.
they right over a military base one time for about 2 days or something like
Yeah,
that?
it was in Montana. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
and then they let it float for another week until it got over the eastern seaboard before they shot it down. And oh, by the way, did they recover that balloon and they get any information off that balloon?
I don't know if they did or not, but
Not
I
that
know they
we've ever
recovered
been
it.
told.
But they've never
Yeah.
said anything about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was so. Then Joe Biden took credit for shooting it down because he was showing his might. Because I shot that balloon down. You're
Was that
you're
was that
you're
was that
you're an
order
old fool, Joe. You're
was that order signed by an auto pen? I just want to know that.
It probably was, yeah. And
So
then
it
they
wasn't-
told him about it
it
after the
wasn't Joe
fact.
Biden that
Then they
did it.
told him about it after. Joe, you signed this. So, or maybe they should, Joe, push that button. There you go. You signed.
So that reminds me of the story. We've talked about this before, but I really want to talk about this again.
Got to make it quick. We're getting late.
Speaker of the House, Johnson, right,
Yeah.
had a meeting with the Biden administration. So this is
Oh, yeah.
probably this is
Yep.
probably so when did Mike Johnson become Speaker of the House? Can you look that up real quick? So that
Yeah.
was in 2022, maybe 2023, right? So
Yeah.
he becomes Speaker of the House and he's trying to set an appointment with the President of the United States because the Speaker of the House, based on our Constitution, is the third man in line of the presidency, right? He is like the one in charge of the House, right? He is the third man in line behind the Vice President.
October 25th, 2023.
So in 2023, he's trying to make an appointment with Joe Biden. So in 2023, when he became Speaker of the House, that was prior to Donald Trump having a debate with Joe Biden, right? Because Joe Biden and Donald Trump didn't debate until 2024, like October of 2024, right?
Right.
Or maybe it was August 2024 because they only
Yeah, it was
had
in
a couple-
2024. Yeah, it was in August, I think. Yeah.
So in 2023, Speaker of the House Mike Johnson is trying to get a meeting with President Biden, right? And they keep putting him off, and he finally gets a meeting. And if I remember correctly, it's in the January of 2024. He gets a meeting with Joe Biden, right? And he goes into the meeting, and all the cabinet members are there, right? The Secretary of Defense, Secretary of the Homeland Security, Secretary of this, Secretary of that. The Vice President's there. Chuck Schumer's there. All these people are there, right? And he's trying to get a personal one-on-one meeting with the President of the United States, right? So he finally gets alone with the President of the United States. He said, Mr. President, why did you pass a executive order to eliminate the exportation of natural gas from my state in Louisiana? It's like, I didn't do that. Yes, you did, sir. You had an executive order. I never did that. Yes, you did. It's right here, sir. Here's the executive order that you signed. Oh, yeah. So we're going to do a survey to see if it would have any impact on it. I said, no, sir. You eliminated the exportation of natural gas from my state on your executive order.
Right.
He said, no, I think you're misunderstood, right? And he says, he comes out of the meeting and he says, he had no idea that bill was signed, right?
Right.
So this happened in January of 2024, right? And he didn't tell anybody until after Joe Biden got out of the race in October of 2024. So I'm like,
Right.
You knew in January that this president was not fit to be the president of the United States, and you said dipstick nothing about it. I'm trying really hard not to swear because this really pisses me off, right? And you're a Republican leader of the House, and you said nothing to nobody until you felt it was convenient for you to say, "Oh yeah, back then when I had this meeting with him, he said this, and I was like, he's not who's running this country. Well, if you were really that concerned about who's running the country, why didn't you say something back in January of 2024? Why did you wait until after President Joe Biden said, you know what, I'm not going to run, and Kamala is going to be the candidate, right? Which is a whole nother shit show. But anyway, yeah. So, and that's a Republican, and I'm a conservative, and I just get really pissed off about that because he could have said something to the American people back in January 2024 that, hey, somebody else is running our country. That's a huge violation of our Constitution, right? Anyway, so I digress, but that's my rant. So
no, that's good. I like it.
We want to thank you all for coming tonight. We want to say God bless you for coming here. God bless America. God bless our military and for the great things that they do, and they amaze us every day. The fact that they flew 7 B4 or B2 bombers with 14 bunker busters and dropped them on 2 nuclear facilities in Iran is just simply amazing. There wasn't one weapon fired back at them. There wasn't one plane launched to return their fire. So we want to thank God for that. Thank God for our military. Thank God for our police officers. Thank God for our firefighters, and thank God for our first responders and all of you that decide to come by and listen to the show. Thank you, and thank God for all of you. Thank God for America. Got no audio, brother. Got no audio.
Thanks, everybody. Love y'all.
Yeah, no audio that whole thing, just so you know.
What's that?
Yeah, no audio that whole thing.
Oh, because of the music.
No music was playing either. So anyway,
You can't hear the music.
no, there's nothing. You had no audio. Your mouth,
wow.
your lips are moving.
So, anyways, I want to say, God, please protect our troops. They're in harm's way.
Yeah.
They could be in harm's way. Please protect them. Get them home safely. And yeah, good night, everybody. And thank you for showing up. Love you guys.
Thank you for showing up. Love you too. God bless you. We're gonna end the stream. We have no audio, but we're gonna end it anyway because we are gonna end the stream. There we go. Yep.